It's just for immediate family, Wendy. Her tone cut like a blade, honed and absolute. I stood motionless, a knot forming in my gut. Family. Didn't that include me? I'm Wendy Cole, 30 years old, a shutterbug from Eugene, Oregon, and I'd just discovered I wasn't on the list for my folks' 30th wedding bash. The very event I'd chipped into bankroll. Her statement hit like a backhand. Decades of contributions, wiped away in one curt phrase. The receiver weighed like raw honesty in my palm. Tears didn't come, I didn't beg. A chill settled in, sharp focus. No more scraping for a place at their feast. I'd craft my spot from scratch. One decision, one upload, and their flawless gathering would fracture. They'd scrubbed me from their roster, so I turned the globe into my spotlight. Ever been sidelined by those you'd poured your soul into? Drop it below. What followed flipped my world. I'd forever been the reliable type. The subdued sibling patching the holes, $15,000 for the dripping ceiling, $10,000 to get my brother through his legal degree, $2,000 monthly so mom and dad could ease into retirement. Every wire transfer shaved a sliver from my core. They'd murmur thanks now and then. Gentle, rote, fleeting, true appreciation, absent. My giving had morphed from heart to transaction. Payment for inclusion. Cheryl shone brightest, the performer with flawless locks and impeccable cues. Her billings splashed across playbills, hung proudly in our parents' hallway. Mom lit up recounting her feats. When my name surfaced, her voice dipped into pity. She's tied up with her snapshots, as if it justified the brush-off. Last summer, I wired extra for their milestone. They framed it as a cozy kin meal. Then Cheryl rang, honeyed yet edged. Mind spotting Aunt Linda's flight, just 1,200, I declined, her comeback pierced deep. Wow, Wendy, nice job dropping the ball. Shame flooded in, instinctive, drilled in. But I held firm. For the first time, I resisted. That's when the chill set in. No rings, no pings, merely space cloaked in courtesy. Then Thursday hit, the summons that skipped me. It's solely for relatives, Cheryl echoed. Like dialogue over-rehearsed. I'd footed that affair, guest-free in my own lineage. I wasn't offspring any longer. I was their ledger entry. That evening, I gazed at my laptop display. Images dissolved into glow and gloom. A lifetime of devotion now resembled shackles. I'd bankrolled their ease, yet they'd cropped me loose. They'd leveraged my open wallet to erect a platform barring my entry. No debate. I gathered gear. Lens kit leading, followed by the prime optic, dual power cells, triple storage, single travel dock. Heidi picked up on ring 2. What's the scheme? She queried upbeat. Paris, I replied, catching myself off guard. Grand, for my scale, zero backstory. She rolled unfazed. She locked it all down. Zero probes, zero sermons, pure momentum. Her trust anchored the rage's sway. Debut hop at sunrise, Lemaire's lodging, Eiffel bathed in twilight, breakfast nook at daybreak. I scanned the schedule, chest easing open. This wasn't flight, it was landing. Evening carried resolve and adhesive. I zipped my bag steady-handed. Quiet trailed to the exit. It didn't judge, it freed. Sunrise crept in gentle. Portland's terminal shimmered like a portal. I queued with unknowns and resolve. Vapors wove hush over the fuselage. The heavens sought no regrets. Charles de Gaulle unspooled like cinema. A cabbie clutched my sign with decorum. Paris unfurled beyond the glass in strata. Cobble and steel, ledges like skeletal frames. No claims laid on me here. Lemaire's greeted with tight alleys. My suite carried citrus and fresh sheets. I cracked the pane to everyday wonders. Vespas, chuckles, plates rattling levels below. I placed my rig on the table. Dusk ignited the tower like molten gleam. I edged nearer shot by shot. Sightseers struck poses. I stalked the gleam. Every line clicked sans subtitles. Dawn caught me at a streamside bistro. Vapor rose from a scarred mug. I captured a flake on china. I could dwell in tiny realities once more. I strolled till recollection slackened. By tome vendors and a fiddle's pang. By pairs murmuring low in the tongue. All owned their essence foremost. I sampled the sensation lightly. Hotel return. Amber light lingered. I tweaked sans external pulls. Tones softened. Hue boosted. Lines straightened. My reflection startled on the monitor. I appeared as one reclaiming roots. I shared a slide series sans narrative. Tower in gloaming. Brew at first light. A pain framing plain radiance. Tagline pursuing delight in Paris. Zero nod to the Pacific Northwest or summons. Zero justification. Zero rebuttal. Merely a statement in digital strokes. Alerts flowered like subdued cheers, not endorsement. Observers, they didn't revise my tale, they noted me. I dined solo minus isolation. Loaf parted neatly in my grip. The bill landed obligation-free. I left generously and pressed on. Dusk cloaked the metropolis sans strain. Edges converged, all sustained, my identity endured too. Their spread no longer called, I claimed boulevards, glow and evidence, not payback. Merely evidence of life past their orbit. Sunday in Portland gleamed like a catalog. 50 attendees. A swing band tuning the fringes, lusters priming their amber ovation, crisp cloths, lofty blooms, the precise luster. Cheryl staged the space like a proscenium. My upload hit the venue pre-suites, towering gloaming, brew at first light, tagline pursuing delight in Paris. Zero context, simply my presence manifest afar. Screens flickered amid the throng, murmurs wove through clusters, a relative nudged a peer. A local creased her brow at the feed. "Where's Wendy?" It murmured low, then boomed unchecked. Inquiries steamed over flutes. The gathering's grin strained at the seams. Mrs. Janet Ward cornered my mom by sweets, near the citrus pastry stand. "Donna, where's your girl?" My mom adjusted her gown doubly. "She's occupied, Janet, with her shots." Occupied served as a dodge, "She's your flesh." Quiet claimed a stool and lingered. Faye messaged from the terrace. "It's circulating. They caught your slides. They're puzzled." I absorbed it from my Parisian nook. The tower shimmered like vindication. I'd not schemed this. I'd merely selected self in view. Cheryl pushed her cheers regardless, to devotion to fidelity to 3 decades. Stems lifted, then wavered aloft. A voice by the ensemble quipped, "Kin, eh?" One by the entry volleyed every kin. The band strummed evasion. Zachary summoned his steeliest timbre. "She's away, all good. Let's honor mom and dad," yet his gaze swept the crowd. Grip slipped like departing souls. At Sweets, candor amplified. I glimpsed the roster, Donna. 50 entries, 0 Wendy. Did she bankroll at Sans invite? Looks honed like new pains. My mom hunted words, unearthed none sturdy. Faye once more, some are bailing. No cheers mid-tunes. Cheryl whispered to one, "I'm overly autonomous." The space overheard and cringed. A cleric settled up swift. A local wrapped her portion for later. One clasped dad with a loose limb. One probed, "Why claim kin otherwise?" The luster dimmed kinder. I lingered in Paris, pains ajar. A mope chortled. A duo bickered mild, then locked lips. I eyed the flow hall urban gleam. I permitted tomorrow to reply over me, not penalty, viewpoint. They'd scripted sans my thread. The planet tendered an alternate yarn. Faye. Zachary's dropping nebulous lines anew. Folks aren't swallowing. Mrs. Ward presses the stark tale. By 9, the combo folded deliberate. By 10, seats echoed remorse. Cheryl's beam faded ere she. My folks tallied decor like cures. I refrained from smugness. I inhaled. At times the gentlest reflector is span. At times the purest clause is void. I'd voiced no barbs at them. I'd voiced verity via existence. My hush outrang their festivity. Mom dialed initial, pitch strained and quivering. "Wendy, your share wrecked it all. Attendees cut out owing to you. How so careless?" I traced beams creep the planks. "Mom, I skipped the event nod." They exited spotting fact. Cheryl followed. "Peak drama, your petty ploy shamed us," she bit. "You painted mom and dad hideous. Pull it. Instantly. Do we share blood?" I countered. "You deceived and barred me, Cheryl. I refused to scrub my path for show." Zachary landed like a bulletin. "You inflated a fixable snag," he sermonized. "You ought have looped us prior." I looped. For ages I noted. Via lifts, funds, quiet, forbearance, I'm through as the footnote. "You're inflating beyond reason," he uploaded hourly. Certain souls pick poses over blood. Tragic, replies veered off script. Viewers pegged the target clear. Wendy backed that soiree. Why no spot for her? Opting self ain't theatrics. He quit engaging by noon. Faye's dispatches clustered. Cheryl's Helmer yanked her fresh gig. He caught wind of the snub, deemed it poor call. Next, Zachary faced personnel. Upload tagged as off base. Rise on ice. By dusk, Faith circle cooled. Mrs. Ward relayed the bare bones. She got passed over despite her stake. Kinship packs every perch. Shared grins waned round my folks. Donna ladled pastry with unsteady grip. Mom rang a new past witching. Return and mend it. We crave the old rhythm. Old rhythm spelled me sponsoring and fading. I eyed the stream's dark weave. I'm forging anew, I stated, not wrathful, merely finished with facade. Her inhale hitched. The wire hushed. Heidi rapped with pastries and poise. "You claim no air for another's sake," she noted. We noshed on the ledge, viewing crafts lace the Seine. Paris purred like a tolerant motor. I fired my machine for tasks. Queries swarmed my queue like flocks. A venue sought a huddle. A periodical adored the slide vibe. "Your gaze rings true," their note said. I filed it and eased my frame. Cheryl pinged final. "Let's sidestep this." 0 regret, 0 own up. Just ahead. I keyed, then paired it. "I'm sidestepping your shutout. Ahead skips no recall." "Faye Mulder, you holding when?" I fired a snap of beam, a pain, a mug, a lane curling, stronger than fine. I keyed back, I sensed precise, I skipped crowing their slips. I saluted my line with calm, not a portal banged. A portal titled, not reprisal, sink. At last no mender roll, at last debris no duty, at last the wake no load to haul or scrub. 60 days on, the din ebbed. What stuck proved solid, wholly owned. The venue locked a vernal debut. Paris loomed vast, candid, pulsing. Patrons lined chutes, sans veiled barbs, my cue brimmed gigs, not please. Donna pinged, swing by, fresh start. Fresh start coded, wiping the gained wisdom. I shelved it in steeped brew, standard forever coded my fade. I quit tryouts for ties. Zachary muted at work. Cheryl hunted bit rolls with broader beams. Their paths no longer my climate. I stuck to gleam and due dates. Heidi matted dual shots for my pain. We aligned them amid chuckles gaining lift. Faye swung through with ripe fruit. Your exhibit'll draw crowds, she said. We trimmed stalks and skipped Portland. Hush grows soft when agreed. I paced the flow at indigo span. Liquid wove mirrors into tolerant lines. I echoed one till it suited. I wrecked not selecting self. I snapped a loop that blanked me. Truth sought no nod from them. Unveiling Eve wafted lacquer and narcissus. Steps shuffled. Tones hushed. Rigs buzzed like tiny drones. I nodded unknowns for mirroring my sight. I nodded self for persisting scene. Mom hovered at the threshold, then wheeled off. I permitted the entry its role. Lines weren't barricades. They charted paths, not span, steering, not penalty, focus with bearing. If you tote a spread sans your perch, halt, lower it, erect one that recalls your tag. Kinship sans honor is tab masked as task. Devotion sans space is act, not haven. You're free to pick chambers that vent. I autographed a shot and loosed breath true. I claimed no triumph over them. I circled to core. They'd trimmed me loose, so I issued my tail at prime scale. Drop one if you faced, shut out yet picked self still. Drop two if you're honing your debut line. Follow for fresh tailies, and tag your vantage spot.